Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, let's get into the charts, guys. We got some stuff to talk about. We're gonna start here on the 15-minute time frame. We're gonna go over what I think. I'm just gonna show you guys the factors that are suggesting that we're probably going to have a pullback here, and then we're gonna go over the daily, and then we're gonna move it up to the weekly chart, and then we got some very hot setups. I believe are very hot setups going into next week. All right, let's get after it. If you are new to the channel, just know we share daily market insights. Feel free to follow along. Hit the bell button. You'll get notified anytime we update. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. All right, so what makes your boy think that we are going to be starting the week off with a pullback? Well, I'm just going to point to our little divergence going on right here. All right, I'm going to point to what happens when these divergences form, guys. These typically form for a reason. All right here, you had a long one building out. Guess what? It put in your bottom. All right, right here, you had one, it put in your bottom. Right here, you had one, it put in your local top. Right here, you had a bearish divergence, it put in the local top. Right here, people were getting really bearish down here. Guess what? I was looking for at least the retracement. Why? Because we had the 15-minute bullish divergence going on. Now, we did have some confluence. If you are not new to the channel and you were watching the videos last week, then you know exactly what I was seeing up here, suggesting that SPY and QQ were probably going to be getting that bounce. All right, guess what? Now we got a bearish divergence going on this 15-minute RSI. At the same time, I just want to point out how you closed out the day right here on this 15-minute time frame. Guys, you rode the 9 EMA up the whole entire day. You could not break it. All right, you have a big fat red candlestick off of heavy volume here, right here. All right, and I'm just going to point out these are my scenarios for the week. Well, on this pullback, these are my scenarios for this pullback until I see things change. All right, right here. Right there. We're going to come over here. Right there. All right. Why? Because we have confluence in these spots. That is why if we come down to it, these are definitely the spots that I will be looking for my bounce. All right. And now we're going to come over to QQQ. And actually, before we do that, I just want to put this on your radar right here, guys. This is going to make it really easy for you. All right, to understand the picture that I'm looking at right here on the smaller time frames before we jump up to the daily. Because I do think on the daily and the weekly time frame, we are bullish. All right, but yeah, right here on the 15-minute time frame, and then the hourly actually also has this over on QQ. You get the little bearish divergence going on right over here from supply. But now we're going to talk some QQQ. All right, so guys, if you're not already following the Twitter, go follow the Twitter. I do drop SPY and QQ analysis intraday. If you're in the Discord, then you literally have full access to my intraday SPY and QQ analysis, which I'm just going to say right now, guys, congrats if you've been making money. All right. We see clean price action every single day, guys. We've been watching these trend breaks and they literally lead to the next move, like, 9 out of 10 times. Like, I'm serious, guys. Combine the zones, resistance, your trend lines, your golden pockets, and your divergences, and then throw in the 9. And I'm just going to tell you, you got to know how to read them. But once you do know how to read them, got the education, there's your key to success. All right, like all of the factors I just mentioned, that's what everybody needs to do. There needs to know in this market to be successful on a daily basis, guys. You will continuously see clean price action on these intraday charts. All right, you literally started the day off with the clean breakout. You went up to the next zone. You found sellers at the next zone. You hit it with the break and retest right here. What happened if you broke over this trend line? We're looking for a move up here to 429.85, which is going to be the high of this candlestick right here. Over here, guess what? You now pushed up to that, rode the 9 up there, right from the back test over here, and now this is where you start putting your bearish divergence, guys. It doesn't get much cleaner than this. People could say this is a trappy market. I understand that, but at the end of the day, these are all of the conditions and these signals. We're not even going to call them signals, all right? Signals are when you have things breaking. That's when you know, like, oh, something's changing, right? Then there's the conditions, what we got going down on here on these 15-minute divergences and stuff like that. All right, those are your warning signs. But these are really the things that people got to be paying attention to. And if you can, you're gonna have a really nice time in this market. I understand we're at all-time highs, but it's in terms of being a day trader, there's a lot of money to be made here just off of watching what I just mentioned. I'll mention it one more time for anybody who has forgotten already. All right, we're talking trend lines. We're talking breakouts. So your supply demand. We're talking your support and resistance. We're talking trend lines. We're talking bearish and bullish divergences. So divergences, we're talking the 9 EMA and we're talking the golden pocket. All right. The amount of confluence that happens continuously is just ridiculous. All right. You come down here, guys. I'm just going to put it out there. So I showed you guys my my arrows over there on SPY. QQQ. If we sell hard to start off the week, I think it's going to be bought up. Why? Because it would be right here. Now, again, this is 100%. This is just a guess I'm throwing out there. We're going to call it an educated guess. You have this trend line break. You have this uptrend. This would be exactly where that comes into play. You also will have your zone here, which was supply and now flipped into demand. All right. That's, you know, your three areas or levels of confluence we got going on right then and there. Okay, guys. And then you're going to be under the 9 EMA. Then you watch for the 9 EMA to be reclaimed. And then we're probably going to come up here and break this high. And we're probably going to come right up here to the top of this channel. With that being said, let's get into the freaking daily TA. Let's do it. Let's get after it. Let's go. All right, guys. So that's really what I'm looking for on the smaller time frames. Those are my two scenarios. Let me just show them off one more time in case nobody, you know, is seeing them. I know you guys are paying attention, though. I know you're paying attention. I know. All right. It's for the people in the back. It's for the people in the back. All right. Why do I think you're probably going to get a bounce here? Because you literally have that going on right there. All right. This was the uptrend you have just been, you know, following here. So if you do see a sharp sell, we're talking by 10 to 10. We're going to say 10 to 11 o'clock. I think this trend line is probably going to hold. But if it breaks, guess what? You're coming right down here to 422.87. So if this zone does not hold as demand and that trend line breaks and you get back down into this downtrend, all right, like you broke out from the trend line, if it proves to be a false breaker and you come back in, guess what? All right, we're definitely looking for price to come down here to 422.87. And at that point, that is where we could do this. All right, and we see the golden pocket is right underneath there. So you probably would get a sweep of liquidity right here and get a wick down, followed by a move back up. It would probably be in the form of the hammer candlestick if we were to get down there. All right. Now, speaking of hammer candlesticks, before we go any further, I just don't want to forget. Let's talk about some of these charts, okay? Apple. I just want to put it out there. Weekly hammer / pin bar candlestick, heavy volume. All right. You had buyers stepping in right above the 0.618. I'm sorry if you were waiting on the golden pocket to be tested as your entry. Guess what? All right. Regardless, we were saying downside limited. You were in the golden pocket right down here. We were going to assume buyers were going to step up. And we also can put on something called our 200-day moving average. All right. We're going to come over here. We're going to come right there. We're going to make you a big, nice white line right there. We're going to come over here. 200. Boom. And you guys could see where you found buyers stepping up. It really is that simple, guys, all right? When you have a bunch of confluence, that is where you take your shots because that's the best probabilities of your bet, okay? I'm just putting it out there. This weekly chart by no means looks bearish to me. I don't know who you are if you are thinking that, you know, this is usually followed by another red candlestick. It doesn't typically happen, all right? We're probably, like, if we're going to stall out from here, you're going to put in a topping tail right here. That's what's extremely likely. If you're going to stall out, all right? It's very unlikely. Very unlikely you were just going to straight up sell from here. I'm just putting that one out there right there. All right? You put in this hammer / pin bar. You're going to get, let me show you an example. You see right here, you stalled out. All right? You stalled out with the doji candlestick the next week. Right here, you stalled out with the doji candlestick the next week. Right here, you went up, you put in that topping tail right here. So you see what I'm talking about? I just want to make it very clear here that if Apple is going up, I don't think people should be very bearish on the markets, all right, for the time being. Just putting it out there, all right? Now we're going to look at Amazon. These are not the setups we're talking about, guys. Don't you worry, all right? We have some solid A+ setups that we're going to be paying attention to this week. All right, and the focus list obviously will continuously change if you're over in the Discord, but well, it doesn't continuously change. If I see things throughout the week, all right, we're gonna add the setups onto them with their respective trade plans. But right now, I do think we got some juicy ones to be paying attention to next week. Last week we had some really juicy setups. Mark off, and I think, you know, it was the week before that as well. All right, but I'm just putting it out here, guys. This looks the opposite from what you have going on over here. All right, see how you kept going down? You had this big fat red bar with heavy volume over here. Guess what? You have the exact opposite here. You're breaking out to a new high. The next stop, guys, all-time high. All right, I'm putting it on your radar. Okay, you guys want to think I'm a perma bull? Guys, I was making jokes about people thinking I was a permabull on this pullback when I was bullish. You think I'm changing my case right here now that we're back up? No. All right. I'm just putting it out there. These charts don't look bearish to me, and you can think I'm a permabull, but in reality, because we're at all-time highs, we are in a raging bull market. It is, probably just starting. People are going to get really bearish on this pullback if we do get it, and it's just going to provide fuel for the next move up. But guys, look at these freaking weekly charts. Do these look bearish to you? All right, because I'll tell you right now, they don't look bearish to me, even in the slightest bit. All right. We're going to excuse the Bollinger Band on freaking Meta over here. But I will actually point this out over here on SPY. All right, you found sellers exactly at the top of the Bollinger Band, which is why I'm going to say, unless you're a... oh, it was a QQQ I was watching? Neither of them. Oh, this is on the weekly chart. Okay. Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay. Listen, guys, I'm going to repeat what I was saying literally as we were right over here. Wait for the pullback. If you want to long this thing and swing long, you don't swing long when it's just riding the upper Bollinger Band higher. All right. You could have done that over here, and yes, you would have made money, or you could have waited for the pullback where premiums then would have gotten demolished, and then there you go. All right. I understand you're probably waiting until 480 to do it, like a lot of the market, but guess what? All right. There you go. That's why this is literally the reason we pay attention to these smaller time frames. This is literally the reason, because on the daily time frame, it looks extremely obvious you're coming down here. On the 15-minute time frame, we were at least looking for the retracement once we started seeing some things pop up. All right, like literally, you came down to support as well. We had confluence down here, and I'm just putting it out here. People want to get bearish on it. Guys, downside was limited. You were going to come down here and test all-time highs. You just saw this that sparked without testing all-time highs. What do you think is going to happen if you do get the all-time high test? A lot of people are going to buy it up, in my opinion. That's just my educated guess there, right? But as far as these daily charts go, guys, we got increasing volume on it. Let's just kind of take all this away. You got the increasing volume, big fat green bar. You do have the slight upper wick, which just suggests, like, guys, we could start the week off with that pullback. The 15-minute time frame does also suggest we're going to be starting the week off with a pullback. You do have a further bearish divergence going on here on your daily RSI, but I am going to say we've had these divergences for quite some time, and they're warning signs, guys. They're not signals. It's what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video, guys. We got the conditions, all right, which are going to be the warning signs, and then you really have the signals that happen. And the signals are showing you that, the whole dynamic is changing. And like, now is the time. The warning signs are there to show you that they will be changing. We don't know when we're going to get the signals on these things. That is why we watch for structure here. But guys, we had a bunch of bullish structure here at the bottom, not the bearish structure, all right? We were looking for bearish structure on the pullback, and then you would have probably had it go something like this. Let's just remove these arrows. If this was going to turn bearish, which I was looking for it to turn bearish, I thought this was just going to be a retracement, but guess what? I didn't care what it was. I'm seeing stuff. I'm saying stuff. Guess what? If the sellers were going to step in, it was going to be right here. They didn't. They literally didn't. And from that point on, you just shouldn't have been bearish. All right? That's that. All right, guys. So let's come over here. The SPY weekly chart. You can literally see big fat green bar, lower wick, larger than the upper wick. Does it look bearish to you? We've seen these in the past. They don't typically lead to downside. All right, they can, but it's gonna have a consolidation. We're gonna have a topping tail or a doji or something. All right, it's not just going to fall flat on its face with a candlestick like this, in all likelihood. All right, you get these topping tails, and then you get the big fat red bar. You get a topping tail. Well, you get the little thing we got going on right here, and then you just consolidate. All right, and then you get the big fat red bar. So do you see what I'm saying right here? A lower wick, you consolidate it and put in your topping tail, and then you get the fat red bar. All right, right here, consolidate it, and then you get the fat red bar. I'm just saying, guys, this is just the theme that we are going to continuously see play out, which, guys, if you're in the Discord, candlestick video is up next. And I am actually excited for that because I do think candlesticks are a game changer for anyone. If you can understand the psychology behind what goes behind candlesticks, I think you're going to have a great time in this market, all right? Combine that with a bunch of all the other stuff we talked about earlier, all right? guess what? You got a recipe for, you know how to read the charts. You know how to follow along with price action. You know how to play that price action. Well, you might not know how to play that price action, but you at least understand it. And as you get better with time, you'll understand how to play that price action. If you know, guys, if you don't know how to play price action, use my system. I don't know what to tell you. I give it out there. And if you want to learn off that system, I think it's a great system for anybody to learn. I think all future strategies could be based off of that system, just understanding the psychology. All right, guys. All right, you're about to break out to new high. You break out to new high, we're going to be looking for higher prices here. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. You're probably going to be in, well, not probably, you're in price discovery mode. You're probably coming to the upper bound of this channel, like we pointed out in the beginning of the video, around 435. All right. Now we're going to get into these individual ticker A+ setups that I'm rather hyped for. Let's get after, all right? First thing we're talking, BABA, all right? We're watching BABA into next week. You're in this downsloping channel. I'm looking for a breakout and a break above the zone right here. You break above the zone, we're going to be immediately looking for 74, like 80-ish up here, all right? So that would be your TP1, all right? Well, it's actually, okay, TP1 down over here, all right? TP2. I knew it was one of the TPs. I knew it. All right. Guess what? Palantir, easily the hottest setup that I can locate going into next week. Now here's the gamble, guys. All right, which sucks. Or here's the caveat. Earnings. So you're gonna have to gamble if you want to play before earnings, because in reality it can go either way. I'm just gonna take my shot and say, like, this thing looks ready to explode. Take your lotto sizes, baby, because they could be paying out this week. All right, in my personal opinion, it looks like you're about to have a big gap up day like this. All right, or it could be something like this. All right, do we have any more gap ups? Like, I'm just saying, guys, it looks like you're getting ready to explode. Do you see this? You just broke out of this smaller falling wedge. After breaking out of this bigger falling wedge, what do you also have? You have continuous higher highs here going on. That is something we love to freaking see. Okay, you got that, you got that, you got that. All higher, guys. All right. And now you break out of here, guys. You have an ugly double bottom neckline, and you're probably coming all the way back up. But I'm just going to put it on your radar right here, right now, before earnings, before that move probably comes, guys. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll wait for the news to get better. Well, guess what? All right. Boeing is a great example of when your boy over here was saying that, guess what? The news is dictated by the charts, okay? Like, the charts tell you before something is about to happen. The thing that's going to make me bullish on it, all right, it's probably going to come with a news catalyst. I don't know what these news catalysts are. I could just say we had one down here. We had earnings right here. Guess what? Earnings, it was the positive move, all right? So that does end up bringing me to my next one, which is going to be Boeing. All right, so we talked about it over here on the breakout over 207.05. Guess what? You're literally now back testing that trend line and the breakout level from this smaller hourly double bottom. You got a hammer candlestick. You got extremely low volume, though. I don't like to see that. But what I do definitely like to see is that you are over the 9, flipping it. You've gone over it. You're over this downtrend. Okay, so that trend line break, you're literally back testing it. You're also back testing this double bottom neckline right there, and with the hammer candlestick. All right, guys, you take out 217.59. I'm going to be straight up, guys. You are going to be going for a ride. All right. I think one of the TPs is 231. That's what I'm looking at. All right. TLT. This is one that we are not touching yet, but I am just going to let you guys know if I see the opportunity, I am going to take my shot on this one. We called it out in the bottom. We already had a sick, nasty play this week. Holy Jesus, guys. These calls ran. Oh, geez. TLT was not a pain in my butt, but you think I wanted to miss this day right here? I knew a day like this was coming around. I was just trying to catch it with weeklies, all right? We ended up catching it. It's okay, all right? We still got, we got quite a bit out of that trade anyway, all right? But was it the 400, 500, 600% that it could have been? No, it was not, all right? But it was still a very good trade. So I like it. All right. But yeah, we're watching here for the golden pocket. It's also going to be this double bottom break and retest. Let me just mark it so you guys have that clear picture for you. We're going to go like that. And there you go. Double bottom, bottom, neckline. Zone is that neckline. And then, yeah, that's really what you're looking at. All right. PayPal. Well, I pointed out literally on this day right here, you're back testing it. Let's just come over to hourly time frame. Literally on the test of this trend line is when we called this one out. All right. Well, we brought it back up because a lot of people are probably, they tried playing the breakout. They got salty on PayPal. And now they're like, oh, it's a dead freaking dog. All right. It's not a dead dog. It's alive and it's well. And well, it's not showing it's alive and well yet, but it's showing us that it's about to show us. All right. So we do have a setup going on here. We got this pennant. It's getting very tight. You're back testing right here. You got earnings right around the corner. So that's probably going to be the catalyst to bring it up. Or it comes down and this chart says screw everybody watching. All right. That's that. But I'm saying this thing does look bullish to me. And I think PayPal going to do some things, maybe even before earnings. We're watching for the breakout. All right. Upstart in the golden pocket, finding buyers, bullish engulfing candlestick. Guys, on the hourly time from here, you have this double bottom. You broke out through this neckline, which would be the high of this candlestick right here, 32.39. Guess what? I think you're probably going to take a ride up here to the highs. And if you can break out from this downtrend right here, I think you end up going for a ride over here on Upstart. So just thought, this is the perfect spot to put it on your radar. Am I playing it from right here? No. But am I watching it? Yeah, because I'm watching for my setup. All right. Meta. I just want to talk about this right now. You can short the beast all you want. Maybe you'll make a lot of money, but I'm going to say you're probably not. We've seen this. All right. We have an exact analog setup over here. SMCI, NVIDIA, all of these things, guys, had these crazy moves up and people wanted to short the beast and they just never got their pullback. So, yeah, I just caution against shorting the beast. If anything, you're probably going to be pushing up to these targets over the coming weeks. Affirm. All right. Giant bull flag. Consolidating literally right where you need to hold. All right. Like you are not getting your close underneath this zone. This is exactly what you want to be seeing. All right, guys. So you're in your demand zone, you're breaking retest zone, whatever we want to look at this as, your support, you're at it. You're also at the bottom of this bull pennant we got going on here. You break out this bull pennant. We got earnings right here. All right, guys. I'm just saying a lot of these moves, they got earnings associated with them. Like, you're probably going to see earnings have something to say about where price goes. All right. I'm just putting out there. I think it's going to be a bullish move that comes out of a firm because of the look of this chart. Diz looks like it's basing above previous resistance, getting ready for the next move, something to keep on your radar. All right. Nike, I want to put this on your radar. Guess what? Right here. We already put it on your radar when you were back testing up here. Guess what, guys? You're literally down here. You got the triple bullish divergence going on. You probably get an upward resolution out of this consolidation right here. All right, which would be a move over 104. Roku, inverse head and shoulders formation, clear as day, higher low, break above this, break out of this, guys. We're going to be in a daily uptrend. Okay, break through this high right here. All right, which is going to be 94.76. If we could break above 94.76, that's when this bad boy right here is probably going on a straight ride all the way up back here to $100. There's your tradable move for the week. All right, Shopify putting on a breakout setup on your watch list. All right, guys, we could. Every time we break up here, we kind of have some decent moves. All right, this is 74.70 all the way up to 80, like 50. All right, we typically get these moves where you go for a little ride. All right, so in case you're a breakout trader, here you go. I love you. I got your back. Trade desk, TTD, bull flag. Am I going to trade it? No. All right. Am I going to watch it? Yes, because listen, guys, this game is a pattern recognition game. I see a lot of freaking patterns. This thing probably breaks up. I'm just going to say it. Goog, this is one I want to talk about right here on the weekly chart. Previous break and retest, baby. That is all you got going on. Sellers came in. Buyers came in, baby. They came in. You're also holding this uptrend here on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, yes, you slipped a little, but you did not get the daily close underneath, baby. We're looking good over here on Goog. I'm just going to put it out there. You can actually adjust this uptrend to come in like that if you really want those. And we're going to keep it like that because I'm just saying I think Goog does end up rallying from here. All right. I think downside is limited over here on Goog. And I think you're probably going to start moving up to fill this gap over near 153. Guys, that is a $10 move. AMD. Break and retest. I took my shot. I got out of the shot too early. And, wow, look at that. It's looking amazing. It's looking like it's about to pull some SMCI or NVIDIA type shit. And guess what? Your boy took such little profits so soon, dude. They make me nervous, dude, playing these setups. But like, I knew I had to take the shot, and then I didn't get to see the shot through. So like, it's whatever. It's okay. We walked out with gains. All right, guys. So that's really all it is. That is these are the setups that I really want to put on your radar. Now, specifically speaking, what will I be watching to trade? BABA, PLTR, BA, TLT, PayPal. All right. Upstart is a maybe, but I want to see some stuff first. All right. Nike. We're talking Shop. We're talking Goog. I'm not touching AMD anymore. I took my shot and I folded. All right. I ain't touching it. I'm just going to be transparent on that. But I do think it's about to go for a ride. All right. So there is that. So it is what it is. It be what it be. All right. It makes me happy to know I call these things anyway, even if some of these things go right by my face. All right. Because I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger, or I did pull the trigger and then I didn't have the balls to see it through. Like, either way, it makes me extremely happy to continuously see my TA play out. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate the crap out of you. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your weekend. We're going to kill it next week. And peace.